This is the Karoo, a 400,000 square kilometre semi-desert engulfing a third of South Africa's landmass. It's an extreme environment with drastic climatic conditions and a harsh terrain where water has always been a scarce commodity and life has had to adapt accordingly. But it's not just a semi-desert. This place's history stretches way back beyond the origins of prehistoric man, from our great ancestors who endured the trials and tribulations of a wild Africa at a time when everything had bigger teeth and claws than us, to its more recent inhabitants, when, less than 350 years ago, European settlers laid their roots in the region and paved the way for a new breed of pioneer, the Karoo farmer. Many of these families and communities in the Karoo built their livelihoods on sheep farming, a trade which established the Karoo as an agricultural heartland of South Africa, but only up until very recently. Today, scattered throughout the Karoo are scenes of the apocalypse come early, relics and treasures now forgotten and abandoned. So the question must beg, why bother to even come here? Well, 3 years ago I met up with a farmer, JP, who gave me a glimpse into a part of the Karoo that I'd never seen before. You can imagine on a hot day, whole family sitting out here, maybe a loaf of bread baking inside, you know?
No, you can. I mean, you can see me that way. Unfortunately, not anymore.
I mean, what happened?
Well, it just wasn't viable anymore to stay here.
Is this happening all across the Karoo?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. It's extremely sad, man.
Jeez, in another 50 years, JP, there won't even be evidence of this anymore.
This won't be here, man.
Be gone. Ek het gif in my gespuit. Moenie worry nie, ek gaan maar dood in die dorp. Ek kon nie anders nie.
Bye, almal.
Bye, almal. This is that hectic, eh? I've injected poison into myself. Don't worry, I'm going to die in the town. Ek kon nie anders nie. I couldn't do other. I had no choice. That about sums it up. Sure, JP. It was those few heartbreaking words scribbled on a wall that sparked what would become a 2-year journey across the length and breadth of the Karoo. And after some 15,000 kilometers and God knows how many punctures, I came across a side of the Karoo that I never knew existed. This is the story of the things one might not think you would find in this land of thirst. This is the other side of the Karoo.
I don't care too much for money. I don't care for fancy things. Silver and gold, they will weigh down your soul. I'm a pauper who walks like a king. I care about good conversation. I care if the sky is blue. I care about my mama, but mostly I care about you.
I've been trying to figure out how we tie this whole story together of this journey that we've been on. And actually the unifying factor for all of this, why the Karoo exists as a place in current terms right now, is because of sheep. Whether it's to eat the animal or to create jerseys from its wool, that's what the Karoo is about, literally, sheep. Scarpies. Doesn't matter where you literally go in the Karoo, you're going to come across sheep in one form or another. And Karoo lamb is like no other sheep found in the world. So for our next leg, we're heading to Carnarvon to stay on the farm Droogepits. The farm owner, Johan Kirsten, has made it his mission to protect the integrity of Karoo lamb. And this is because so many people don't know that lamb farmed here is unique to the region, like champagne is to champagne in France. It has this unique taste that it gets from the shrubs that it eats that are only found in the Karoo. Sadly, Johan isn't here, so we're off to hook up with his neighbor, pick up some keys, and then head to Droogepits, which is going to be our home for the next 2 days. Well, I don't know if this is where we're supposed to be. We have some kind of strange directions to get here. So, here we go. And this is amazing. This is a corbelled hazy, which is a building technique that was brought across from Europe and has now taken a small foothold in the Karoo. No one does it anymore. Let's see if we're in the right place. Across kelpies, border collies.
Yes, and there's a sheep on the back of the bus.
Could be lunch.
Yeah, sorry.
Hi, Andrews. Aangename kennis. Justin Bonello. Hello.
Johan.
Hello, Johan. Justin. Aangename kennis.
Hallo.
Okay, so julle sal die plek kry. Dis omtrent 20 km hier vanaf is die plek waar julle slaap vanaand.
Ja.
Droogepits. Ons kan saam julle gaan daar.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Is that lunch coming up there?
No. This is a little ram that escaped. Okay, guys.
Good, sir. Well, that's that sorted out. So we're not staying here. We're staying at the farm Droogepits, and I'm 99% convinced that that's the farm written about by William Blake when he took in some indentured wild bushmen and learned to speak their language, wrote it down, etc. And they talk about Droogepits, Brandvlei, and Springbokoog as well. So, yeah, lots of history here. But geographically, the farm Droogepits lies just outside of Carnarvon at the heart of the Great Karoo, about 180 kilometers north of Beaufort West. It's an area that's been nicknamed the hard man's Karoo because that's what it takes to live out here as a farmer. And there are a bunch of authentic Karoo sheep farms in this region, responsible for some of the best lamb in the world. Guys, watch out, there's a sheep in the road. Heb jy hand nodig? Come help us out and go to the fence, guy. Catch him that side. You all right?
Ja, dis dit nou weg. Dankie vir jou. Dit het ook gebeur in lorries ry om raak.
Ja, dan gaan hy dood. Hup. One lamb. Saved for the table and not for the wheel. Pleasure. Tonight, Johan has offered to make a lekker potjie, and it's going to be some sort of surprise from him. So let's see, maybe it's pence and porter, tripe and trotters. Johan, either milk stout or a Castle Light. I just want to get myself a whiskey. Every time we travel, you know, it's like you wake up in a new place and new people. It's kif. This is to new friends, new beginnings, and to meeting again.
Selfs man, yes, ek hoop julle is nog vanaand welkom hier.
But that's that sort of hospitality we've experienced everywhere in the Karoo.
Die boere mense is musiek is so gasvry.
Yeah.
Vir my was dit 'n jong ouetjie was 'n helse aanpassing. Maar ek geniet dit nou baie. Baie dankbaar vir wat ek het. Leer nog baie, maar ek geniet dit.
But that's life's journey, eh? You've got to learn all the time.
Yes, julle is georganiseerd.
Yeah.
Wie dit gedoen?
Raylene while we were out today.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
That's what you got to find a wife.
Yes, maar kos begin net voor ons môreoggend eet.
Your hand's under pressure, Louis.
Why?
Because if the potjie's not lekker, then the whole world knows. You know what, all his chums, the whole world will know that his potjie's crap. You know. But I think he knows Justin's rule 101 of cooking. Serve your friends as late as you can, then everything tastes lekker.
Presies, vir alles wat iets eet, drink dit.
Yeah, but you know, Johan, life out here is lonely, man. And of all the guys I've met out here, most of them just want to move in from the farms into cities. So it's cool to see how much you enjoy it out here. It's like quite refreshing, man. I guess you don't get many visitors, eh? This is what they call a corbel hayseed. This part of the Karoo has this type of house scattered all amongst them. And it's called the hard man's Karoo because really it is. Limited rainfall, no big trees. So when these first sort of farmers trekked into these areas and needed to build themselves something that would put a roof over their heads, keep them warm in winter, cool in summer, and protect them from a mainly hostile sand, this was it. These were built into the wall as you went along as kind of stepping stones or scaffolding to allow you to work on the house. Then inside, it almost looks like a beehive. But right at the top is the interesting part. They would make a fire here, but that top piece of slate, they would just twist open to allow the fire to draw. Then the reverse applied in summer. And because this thing is entirely built of stone, it would be nice and cool when the Karoo gets to that sort of 40-degree heat. Here's a piece of history standing right here. The first sort of stone homes in this part of the Karoo, the hard man's Karoo.
Ons gaan vandag ooe bymekaar maak. Dan gaan ons hulle spuit, maar dit het julle obviously al baie gesien. Maar dis nou wat ons vandag gaan doen.
That's perfect. You know, even though I've worked with sheep before in the Karoo, I find that there's always something new to learn from every farmer, you know, like little tips and tricks. So we head out into the veld for another day of helping to work with sheep. Nice way to get under the skin of the Karoo.
Okay, gaan nou hulle aflei.
You can see.
Ons is nou in die kamp waar ons gaan bymekaar maak.
Ja.
En dis Jakob.
Hallo Jakob, aangename kennis. En sy naam?
Dolfie.
Dolfie.
Elke man het sy eie hond waarmee hy bymekaar maak.
Ja, kyk goed
Dis
so.
ons daaglikse take. Stap julle sommer so lekker vinnig weer na. Dan wys jy hom sommer al die dinge. Dankie Piet.
We'll see you at the kraal, Johan.
Have a nice walk.
Ja, sal, dankie. There's a saying that you'll find bad and greedy farmers working as salesmen in the cities, and nowhere is this more true than in the hard man's Karoo. But the trick to a successful farm lies really in respecting the land. If you overgraze it or don't treat the land correctly, it won't be sustainable for the next year or for the next farmer. And I'm quickly realizing that farming in the Karoo is a highly specific science that's been perfected through generations of farming. This method of bringing in the sheep is, in many respects, ancient. And it kind of makes you think a lot about a human's relationship with domesticated animals that we've had as part of our history as a species. So the dog being the prime one. You know, in the Karoo, border collie or an Australian Kelpie cross collie is used to running big distances, bring in animals. And in the old days, would have had horses as well. But nowadays, the maintenance of keeping those animals has almost become prohibitive, the cost thereof. It's easier to drive around in a 4x4 or a pickup truck, and it does make you kind of think a lot about how our relationships with the animals that we eat and use has changed with this march into the 21st century. Makes you think how much we've lost. You don't realize how much goes into your lamb chop.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of preparation, maintaining the veld, looking after the animals and their well-being.
Maar al hierdie goed is als natuurlijk. Verstaan ons geen niks. Baie stimulante wat onnatuurlik is. Jy weet, soos groeihormone. Dit is baie voorbereiding om die lam net te kry waar hy is.
Sure.
Maar ek vind dit wat ons doen is geniet dit. Dit is lekker om in die oop lug te werk. Sit jy net in 'n kantoor en jy weet wat kom.
Ja.
En is vir ons wat nou lief is vir diere, jy werk elke dag met diere, met honde, met skaap.
Ja, ek is 'n bietjie jaloers, né?
Elke dag happy. This I have to do every month. Okay, it's every sheep, every lamb. It's about 2,000 sheep.
So what you're checking if the numbers are consistent in the camp?
Dat ek weet wat aangaan, dat ek weet wat fout is.
Yeah.
If one is gone, I have to check and
See why.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether you're a dairy farmer, sheep farmer, cattle farmer, whether you grow lettuce. You know, you can't afford to lose any animals because, you know, you think about it, the farmer must suffer through everything, weather conditions, drought, too much rain, predator losses, stock losses, and then freaks of nature, you know, thunderstorms, hailstorms. You know, they are so much at the whim of everything that happens around them. And increasingly, farming is becoming a numbers game, you know. And the real truth behind it is that as people who live in cities, we place incredible demands on farmers. We make them find more cost-effective ways of putting food on our tables. And that is not necessarily a good thing. So what's the technique to counting, Johan?
One by one.
One by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey? Oh my God, I think I'm on 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 2, 3, 6. Oh.
Well, thank you. Okay.
My pleasure. All right. Dankie manne. Ek's nou op pad na Andries om te kyk wat hy doen saam met sy bokke. Are those your pride and joy?
Yeah. I lost some last year with the cold.
Yeah, Johan was saying it was terrible walking in the veld, like 150 out of them, 300 goats. You know, this is what people like me who live in a city don't realize. I mean, how are you supposed to recover from losing 300 goats to a freak of nature? Especially when you add into that mix that a farmer only gets probably about a quarter of what we pay when it hits the supermarket shelves. And I mean, I think this is why it's so important that I come out here and I meet the farmers and give you guys an identity. Because, you know, consumers, they don't know who you are anymore. So my job must be to give you that identity and to bring you back to life. Andries, I just want to say thank you, but I don't think we're going to see you tomorrow. Baie dankie, nee.
Glad to meet you. Yeah,
Likewise. Yeah, good to see you.
Okay. Bye-bye, guys.
All right.
Bye, dankie man.
All too soon, our time at Drukopitz has come to an end. But we have a date in Calvinia, and we left Carnarvon a few hours ago, and we're about 10 kilometers out of a small town in the northwest of the Great Karoo, heading to a festival that I've been trying to get to for 2 years, the Hunter Vleesfeest, the Hunter Meat Festival. And this, I guess you can say, is a celebration of culture and all things culinary when it comes to sheep. And this is where you get to eat the animal from snout to tail. We are here in the extreme side of winter. There's snow in the mountains, it's raining, and we're camping. I suspect that we're probably going to need to drink lots of liquid gold to keep ourselves warm here. There's Raylene. Let's look for the campsite. I cannot believe this snow. 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 Snow in the Karoo. Snow in the Karoo. We're in tents. Let's get.
We're friends with those people over there. They got a very big fire.
Okay, let's go set up.
It's like Iceland all over.
You know, the Karoo is a place of extreme temperatures. You know, summers with 40-degree Celsius days. Well, here we are in snow in the Karoo. Hey, you can't. I mean, there's no other way I can describe this, Louis. Look at it, snow in the bloody Karoo.
It only happened when we arrived.
Yeah, but I suppose it's water of a form, and water of a form in the Karoo is always appreciated. I can hear the music at the showgrounds. Listen, if you listen carefully. Can you imagine that little tent bottom, that thin little mattress we all have?
I think we should go and find a bar. Yeah, we can sleep in the bar.
You see,
I think the blue shell bar counter. It's the place fest. As long as you're off the ground.
sleep there. Listen, we have a home sweet home, you know? I think we are going to freeze our butts off, but it's cool.
It all depends on how much brandy you drink.
That's also true. Are we braaiing in the campsite? What are we braaiing? Lamb. 400 sheep have been slaughtered for this weekend.
You know that for a fact.
Yeah, that's the number they do. And the whole town comes together for the week preceding the festival and works the meat, and then like all the different people take different sections of meat. So like there's a skewer queen, and she takes the meat for the skewer. Then there's the guy who does the clip rib. Then there's the whole animals. Then there's the potjie pot specialist. Those 400 sheep get consumed. So we are one of 10,000 people here for the weekend.
Cool to see.
Good chops.
Excellent chops. The interesting thing about the lamb chop, why the Karoo flavor is its own, is one of the guys says it's the water they drink.
As well.
Because imagine it's like always like a brackish water.
It's salty.
So yeah, salty. So wouldn't like the lamb pick up the flavor
Makes
of
sense.
that?
Yeah.
And I like that idea.
Makes sense.
Has anyone got marshmallows?
We do.
We do? Yes. Well, bring them over, man. And some of that liquid gold as well, you know. We can drink tonight because tomorrow we eat. Morning. There's snow on the mountains. There's this icy breeze blowing through. We are all kitted out and ready to go. Gumboots on. Normally this town is dusty. This time of the year it's muddy. But we are now going to experience all things culinary when it comes to sheep. Oh man, after you spend sort of 40 minutes in a queue waiting to get in, the first thing that you walk into is like a sheep shearing competition, followed closely on its heels by an eat as fast as you can competition where you must stuff your face in a heartbeat. And naturally there's all these crowds going mad for these guys. Check it out. And who wins? The thinnest guy there, not all those big guys. And that's followed by the Calvinia Vleisfeest Princess, or the Meat Festival Princess. And then you've got this obligatory like strongman competition for the boys and all these guys and girls going mad. And as always, you have like the little guy trying to do what the big guys are doing, and there's, you know what I mean, obviously the big muscular farmer type is going to win it. I guess there are very few places where you can come in the world, and one of the main attractions is having a demonstration on a sheep's carcass being worked. It's not riveting entertainment, I can promise you that, but I guess it's heart of the festival, and we're partaking. But the real reason I'm here is to eat. This, I guess, what you could say is the heart of the Huntum Vleisfeest, the area that they're all braaiing and barbecuing. and the fires are raging on their side. I mean, they're stacking 45-gallon drums up and just keeping the coals on the go. And here's those 400 sheep slaughtered for this festival being cooked to perfection. And in every part of it here, they don't waste anything. And we're going to start checking it out. So they do tarkies, the tails, the heads, skulpaikies, which is livers wrapped in caul fat, ribs, kyankies, which is deep-fried fat, and we are going to eat it all. But there are so many things happening at the festival, so Sunil, my director of photography, and I have decided to have a look around and see what's on the menu.
Kan ek sien?
Dis die peertjie tannie.
Ah, lekker.
Kyk, ek gooi 'n stertjie op, maar meestal is dit peertjies.
Oeh, lekker.
Jy weet mos wat is peertjies.
Yes, ek weet, ja.
Ja, alsjeblieft toch.
Ons het 'n stertjie,
Dis 'n sterkie en lewer.
Laat eers dan. Maar jy moet die, ek bewonder die mense wat dit eet wat van ver af kom, want dis 'n plaas. Jy weet, dit is maar wat jy weet als op die eet is jy nie.
Kan Terry miskien net vir die kamera sê wat alles wat se vleis daarin is? Wat is peertjies? Net om dit te verduidelik.
Zet eerst gewoon die camera af. Dat die wil sê. Net sê vir julle. Want laas het ek gesê dis die testicles van die lammetjies en toe almal dood en weet ek nie wat moet ek sê wat is dis.
Thanks, Sunil. I was thinking that it was sheep's tails and liver. But testicles for breakfast? What could be next? Here's one of my favorites, sheep's tails. And because they're docked on farms, most urban dwellers never get their hands on them, and it is Karoo finger food at its best. They are delicious, so that's, I think, going to be our second course for the day.
Hier kan jy alles eet. Soos sushi en daai wat julle so daar by ek nee man, ons eet nie daai goed nie. Maar hier kan jy maar alles eet. Jy kan van veilig voel.
You have to try one, huh? And they're served with nothing other than salt and pepper. It's delicious. You're fatty, but oh so tasty. Meat on the bone.
These are kyangs, which is basically fat, deep fried in fat. And they're really good on like toast in the morning. But straight like this, tastes like a heart attack. And these are some of the best lamb societies kebabs that I've ever had in my life.
Great. No, try that.
I've been forced to eat now a lamb curry on a roaster cook. I do know this, that if I'm completely inebriated, I won't feel the cold tonight. Still got to have everything that's on offer here collectively between all of us. I just wish just like a really terrible Afrikaans karaoke singer would stop. But I suspect that from here on onwards, the music's going to get louder. We're going to consume a whole bunch more beverages and land and see what happens.
Brandy and Coke. Oh, that's very nice of you all. I slept in all my clothes last night. I don't even know how we got here. It's grey and miserable. Can we go back to sleep? Oh, my head.
It's not that pretty in the morning, eh?
Whose idea was it to come here in the first place? I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a bit under the weather after last night. Can we turn today's trip into a 2-day journey and maybe stop off in the Karoo?
So cold last night, these little icicles that formed on the tent. That snow on that mountain.
So yeah, stop giving us like a monologue and things, man. Let's just hit the road. Morning. Okay. All readied and sun-blocked up. Of our journey into the Karoo, we're heading up to the town of Sutherland to do some vampire hunting. Just kidding. Sutherland is home to SALT, the Southern African Large Telescope. What that means is we're going to be hooking up with some astronomers. All right, guys, let's hit the road. We are now onto our 4th and 5th puncture repair. These roads eat tires. So while I fix the puncture, my crew get to play with their toys.
It's time-lapse heaven, these clouds.
That's all you're thinking about.
I'm just trying to kill time. Might as well.
Just take a look where we are. These like massive wide open spaces. Every breakdown is an excuse to shoot another shot. All right.
Let's call you the tire doctor then.
Raylene, I've become an expert tire repairer on the road. I mean, what else would we do?
I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm useful. Cook, producer, director, dust kicker. We joke, but you know, a 200-kilometer journey through the Karoo can take ages, and not because of the terrain or the punctures and things. Okay, well, maybe because of the punctures. But the real reason is because we want to show you the space and bring the Karoo to life. And I know it's hard work, but someone's got to do it. So this is the Komberg, and you can see there's a big drop-off on that side. We're going up a 30-degree incline, and you can hear Grunt grinding her way up the Komberg mountains. Oh, I can't even get into second gear. But we're leaving behind this dry Karoo and the Karoo and heading up into the mountains to Sutherland, which is incidentally like one of the coldest places in South Africa with the least amount of cloud cover in the 365 days of the year. Oh.
We're driving arena traffic. It's quite heavily packed. The road is pretty bumpy and rocky. But man, it doesn't want to be in second. It's humming in first.
Roll back down and you're going to have to come up at a bit of momentum, eh? Or I can come and pull you up.
Louis says he doesn't think it's going to help going back, eh? He says it's too steep, eh? There's no power in first, there's just nothing, it's just too heavy.
All right, I'm going to come grind you up. Yeah. I've got to get us level first, Louis. I'm going to have to pull you up in low range if you're going to help me. We're getting lost in the Karoo right now. This road just came to a dead end. GPS, Schmeeps. I think I'm going to go back to the old tried and tested system, a map. Sean is the youngest and newest member of our crew, gets all the dog leg jobs.
We hit a rock back there. Oil at the bottom, check there.
I can see it.
Okay. Traffic might be down, eh?
That's a real hole. Well, ladies and gentlemen, well done, Louis. That's a nice job taking out the sump.
It's my first one. Justin, these brakes are hard already, eh? Try the handbrake.
Sutherland after towing for, I don't know, 40 Ks. Louis, well done, buddy. Yes,
It was tiring, but it's...
Yes, you're concentrating hard, eh? But better, I suppose, than leaving it out there. All right, now we need to make a plan. We're gonna go up and leave you guys, you here to sort out this one. I've got to carry on. We'll see you guys just now. I hate leaving my guys behind, but trying to stick to a schedule out here is tough work. But if it has to be done if you want to see everything that the Karoo has to offer. So while Ray sorts out the car, we're going to head up to SALT, the Southern African Large Telescope, I think it is. And literally, Sutherland's the perfect place for it. It's situated in the heart of what was Gondwana land. And Sutherland's clear skies, high altitude and calm weather are exactly why it was built here. Thank you very much for letting us in, man. We've had the most terrible days. Well, actually, fantastic day, but terrible at the same time, you know?
Okay. So what, you had some car problems in the Tankwa, or?
Landed Rover on the first day, turbo went, and we just hit the sump on the traffic.
Oh.
So we had to tow it 40 Ks in here from Oberg.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you came up Oberg.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to tow it up Oberg.
We did a little bit too. You know, it makes for an adventure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh my word, this is absolutely amazing. How much more powerful is this than the human eye?
You go down to about 22nd magnitude, which is, if you linearize that, you get down to, what is that, about 6 million times stronger than the human eye. That's in short.
That's just to put it in perspective.
That's just to put it in perspective.
He is beautiful. But you are going over my head a little bit. I kind of am at awe at the human smarts and what we do when we put our minds to it, but this is completely over my head. If you're an astronomer, you're a vampire. It's the perfect profession, because you come out at night.
I think quite many of us have, the natural trend of staying up very late. Anyway.
Sure.
So I'd be doing this at home as well.
Nice to meet you, Tia. And then you're the operator.
Yeah, so my position's a telescope operator. So I make the telescope move where the astronomer tells me to.
When the telescope is tracking, we're actually compensating for the Earth's movements, where we're looking at a star and moving with it. There's a little camera which looking at another star in the field, which Tia then can see over there, and then she locks on it. And this is to fine-tune the tracking so that we really hold on to exactly the same place all the time.
It's a window into a world that you cannot grasp with the human eye.
You know, sometimes it's just kind of blobs on the screen, but when you find out what they're actually doing, like we looked at two galaxies that were busy colliding with each other, and there was a new galaxy forming between them. So you kind of think to yourself, like, I'm watching a galaxy being born.
No,
like, how cool
I'm
is that?
so jealous of both of you. You're seeing stuff that no one else on the planet has seen before, from a perspective that no one else has. This is, I think, what makes us want to figure out if we can travel into the stars or not. Can you imagine being that first astronaut that actually does it, that goes, and it'll be as a result of what's going on here? If you had to boil down the astronomer's one objective in a sentence, what would it be?
Trying to figure out how the universe works.
Petri, you're doing my head in. I mean, it's hard enough for me to comprehend that what we're looking at is millions of light years away, but what does it in even more is that this is literally a window into a time before where we can glimpse the universe as it was in the early stages of its life. I mean, how insignificant am I? We're packing up and leaving and heading towards State Level to the Karoo Theatrical Hotel to hook up with Mark and Jacques. And the clue about my dinner date should be in the title, Theatrical Hotel. We've just finished packing up and the most glorious thunderstorm is pulling through right now. I kind of I don't know if I want to be in a metal object, you know. Are you supposed to be in the car when the tyres are insulated? Because it feels like it's right here. Rain is important in the Karoo. This is a thirsty land. It'll take anything it can get. It's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but it already feels like dusk. And I just saw the biggest lightning bolt strike exactly where we're going. And that's state level, about 500 kilometers east of Sutherland. And the rain is coming down something horrible now. So if you're wondering why my hazards are flashing, well, why we're sitting on the side of the road in the pouring rain when we actually have to get to state level, it's because our Land Rover has broken down for the 3rd time in a week.
What's happening? Dead in the water. Dead in the water.
Good news is, Rayleen's got hold of a tow truck company. Bad news is you have to wait for it.
We'll just carry on. We'll film some cool rain stuff though while we're waiting.
Well, listen, I'm going to shoot ahead to Willamore. I'll phone you guys up now and just see if we can sort this out faster so that we can get you there quick.
Puppy.
Okay, love you.
And maybe dive.
So now Raylene, Josh, Sean, myself, and you are all on their way to state level. Darren and Louis are stuck on the side of the road of the R341 waiting for the Land Rover recovery vehicle to take them to state level. Maybe we should hire that truck for the rest of our journey. Massive tortoise on the left here, and the problem is with all these jackal fences, the tortoises can't get underneath them and out, so they get stuck on the verge of the road, and then they get hit by drivers who could be careless. This is why you pick it up. You can see cars hit the back of that one, and there's a dead tortoise. In the Karoo, when it rains, tortoises want to cross roads. We saved that old guy, but this guy didn't make it. I've been roughing it a bit in this journey so far, so before my dinner date, I'm going to pop into a local barber to neaten up while Raylene handles our ongoing car problems. Perfect. Baie dankie vir die intrusion en alles. Lekker dag.
Plesier vir julle ook.
Nou is ek gereed vir my aand in state level. We're just a hop, skip and a jump from the Karoo Theatrical Hotel.
I'm Jacques. Pleased
Hi,
to meet
Jacques.
you, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Cheers. Pleased to meet you.
Likewise, thank you for having us. Beautiful, hey?
Yeah, well, we're trying.
It's a little oasis in the desert.
Oh, we're just arriving at the Karoo Theatrical Hotel, just outside of state level, in our carriage.
Tonight's dinner date at the Karoo Theatrical Hotel is in the Grimaldi Theatre with Karooian legend Dame Leila Lamborghini, and the show tonight is the State Level Follies presented by Freddie Ferrari. What are you doing?
Putting my makeup on. And I'm as blind as a mole.
Jacques, I see the diva coming out tonight. Dame Leila Lamborghini and Freddie Ferrari are part of the new blood moving into the Karoo. Think of them as gay trekkers. There's been this migration of people out of the Karoo, but here you are moving into the Karoo. And tell me, are you happy out here?
This is the happiest I've ever been in my life. I mean, in the big city, you're just another person working, another address. Here in the Karoo, you can be yourself. And that's the most important thing. You can live your fantasies, you can live your dreams here in the Karoo. Because there's nothing to disturb you. The artistic side of us just comes out.
I say to myself, Justin, why do you come to the Karoo? And I already know the answer, and it's I come here to find myself.
Oh, absolutely. But that's when we found ourselves, the true us.
By the time you wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to be saying to yourselves, I had such a good time. I would have. In fact, think about it again, I should have. Indeed, I very well could have danced all night.
So this is a part of the other side of the Karoo, the lesser known but captivating avenues of this land of thirst. And the more I continue this journey, the more I realize how many secrets this place has. Something that makes me hopeful about the Karoo story is seeing more and more people moving back into this space. From the drama queens at the theatrical hotel to the vampires at Salt, this place plays host to some of the most amazing things that South Africa has to offer. And it's right in our backyard. If you just take the time to look a bit closer, to dig a bit deeper, you'll discover the wealth of culture, people, and strange happenings that continue to draw travelers like me to this magical place.